Stupid Garbage Podcast.
Oh, I like that. Hello, listeners.
Oh, we're recording right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't that what we're doing?
Yeah, no. I just didn't realize you'd press the button.
I did. That's why I said hello, listeners.
Hey, listeners. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm looking for my Twix bar.
Oh, my God.
Found it.
Your quarantine snacks.
Incessant.
Hi, listeners. I'm realizing that we don't, and most podcasts I've listened to have. You're gonna eat that during the. Go ahead. We'll wait.
Please continue.
I don't know. Go ahead. How was it?
It melted in my pocket. I'll have it later.
I was saying that most podcasts that I've listened to, that I've heard, have theme songs. We don't. Fuck you. Don't crack my knuckles. You were eating a candy bar 10 seconds ago.
Alright, whatever.
We don't have a theme song.
Okay, we can get one.
Get one from where? Why don't we make one? First, we need a name.
I'm not musically talented. Oh, we picked a theme. That was step one.
SGP was Stupid Garbage Podcast. I've said in the first 2 episodes. I think we're committed to it now because I've said it in 3. Stupid Garbage Podcast.
Oh, I like that.
There's our theme song.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have talked over it. Could have used that.
Did I? Alright, go ahead.
A little bit. No, it's too. We're just gonna have to have you talking over the theme song.
Stupid Garbage Podcast.
I hope you
and
have a good
you're
lawyer.
talking over mine, so.
I'm gonna see you in court, fucker.
Okay.
So you were saying.
We picked a theme.
Actual conversation here. Jessica picked a theme.
Well, so here's what I was thinking, because we were brainstorming, and I felt like in our trial session, the only thing that Robert actually felt inclined to contribute on and about was the movies.
It's really warm under this bus. Nice and cozy. That you just threw me under. How are you not following?
You've been saying really weird random things that aren't true this entire
the past
time.
5 years.
So I thought you were just making a joke, but
that's fair. Theater of the mind, dear listeners. We're in a bus depot. Beep, beep, beep.
So anyway,
beep.
Yes.
Backing up over here.
I think it's gonna end up being movies, because unless I'm still down for the Random Garbage Podcast.
Stupid Garbage Podcast.
But random as well. I'm down to just talk about what we did today and little bits and pieces about us as people. Like, I think that would just be a fun reprieve from whatever our actual topic is.
The problem with that, as I see it, is that I don't know that it's smart, because you and I both, and you and I separately, have some pretty, I would say, okay, go ahead, but have some pretty controversial opinions. Controversial, probably unpopular opinions that I don't know, if there's no direction to this podcast, I don't know that we will be able to corral one or both of us from saying things that would, I mean, you don't want to torpedo your career before it begins in this whole podcasting community. So
I think the first 2 episodes have already not gone very well if we're not trying to...
Well, all right, well, that's my point, is that they are random and aimless.
Okay.
And there's no, do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
There's no central theme to keep us on track, so we just kind of meander for 45 minutes and then end up saying some pretty objectionable things.
So be it.
Jessica just shrugged. Great for radio, by the way.
Again,
a real pro.
Okay.
So be it. All right, why don't we start with the most controversial thing you can think of? I'll take on...
No, let's not do this immediately.
Well, why not? Might as well get it out of the way.
What's your controversial?
That's a good question. I'll be brave here in 2020. Time check, dear listeners. It is 6:21 in the PM, but...
The same day as we recorded a podcast.
Don't tell them that. They don't know how much free time we have.
We are in quarantine.
Doing nothing.
Only thing we have is free time.
Yeah, free time and...
We both, in theory, have full-time jobs that
quickly...
we're doing
I'm done with work for the day, but...
As am I.
Well, touche. A quickly dwindling supply of ideas. But I don't know if I'd call it quickly dwindling. I don't know if starting at 0 and staying at 0 can be characterized as dwindling. Anyway, I'll take on woke politics. I'll do it. I don't care. I think it's stupid, but of course I do. You know, I'm a man.
I don't know what
I'm
woke
a white
politics
man.
is. I don't know.
Like the whole concept of, I get that's fair. Like the concept of political correctness is.
Oh, like the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole kit and caboodle.
No, I mean, I feel like people should be represented like accurately, and
Sure.
we shouldn't.
I don't have any problem with that. You're good.
Like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people that make fun of. Again, I'm gonna go to the disability route because I can relate to it, or even like the gender identity route. Like people shouldn't just be made fun of for how they were born, and
Sure.
I feel like a lot of diseases, like people make fun of a lot of mental disorders and diseases and kind of just are like, oh, like you're just a little distractible or you're a little sad. And I feel like being politically correct and like being accurate, or like being mean and being accurate can happen together, but I feel like they need to, versus like I feel like people are just wrong and misrepresenting other people, and I don't think that's super cool.
Sure.
So that politically correctness, I feel like, is necessary.
Yeah, well, I think we're losing people fast. But well, I was more going to say we should probably pivot, but more I was just going to say that I don't have a problem with any of that per se. My problem was just kind of the approach of people to. I don't think it works. I don't think to force people to be too afraid to say objectionable things. Like say someone hates black people. All this woke politics teaches them to do is not talk about hating black people out loud.
Okay.
And that's not fixing any problems. So I think it's just more about optics and posturing than actually fixing any problems.
I was talking, or like I was probably on Instagram or something, and I saw a post that was like that, where it was the exact same situation where like it was a black person, and they were saying like, we don't want you to just tiptoe around this whole situation and just like walk on eggshells around us. Like we want to start this conversation because we want things to change.
Right, but then anytime anyone says anything.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay. Well,
I'm saying it should be spoken about, and you shouldn't just say
looks like we solved it.
I'm just saying they were like, you shouldn't just say the politically correct thing if that's not what you believe. And then again, like it's just taught to go underground, which is why people are supporting people like Donald Trump.
Well, let's not split the audience by getting political. We don't need to. You can tackle issues without tacking them onto parties or people, which I think is probably. I would say we'll edit this out in post, but I think we've both kind of come to the realization that's not going to happen. I've never wanted to do any work for this podcast as I made. Is Peaches still asleep?
He is.
Lizard is still asleep on the couch. I don't know what his problem is.
He's not
just
moving,
boy.
And he's not even responding to words. Like he'll usually wake up if I get too close or too loud, and he's just.
He'll usually.
Dead asleep, maybe literally.
You usually say hi when you say hi to him.
Yeah.
Waves. And
yes. He likes to wave.
Yeah.
He'll tip his hat and.
Michigan J Frog.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's let that. That was an experiment. I think ultimately a mistake, going down that route of talking about anything.
You started it.
No, I know.
I'm trying to get you to not.
I don't know you. Well,
I don't. Listen. I also, Rob, don't feel like our conversations are at all
interesting. I agree.
No, they're
just
a
mistake.
They're like, especially for people in our age group.
Yeah.
We're not. Yeah. We are not the minority at all.
Well, you're a woman and a religious minority, and you're disabled. I'm not, for sure.
Okay.
But you take off.
Cis, straight, white man.
Yeah.
Coming from a decent amount. I mean.
In his mid-20s. No, for sure. I'm ticking off every single box of. Yeah. Being in the majority or whatever, but you are like at least 50-50.
I have a couple little minority things.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're a lady Jew and you're disabled.
That's true.
So you got a couple things going for you.
Yeah, I have a couple.
Jessica is Jewish. Been Anne Franking it up in this
half
attic.
Jewish, so
yeah. Well, first of all,
I mean, like according to the Jewish religion,
according to the Jews, you're
Jewish.
a Jew.
Yeah.
And according to anyone who's not Jewish, any amount of Jew
I'm a Jew,
makes
yeah.
you a Jew. So you know, one way or the other, you're really right down the middle.
Yeah, I mean, that might
right
be
down
it.
the
That
middle
might be all the
minorities. Yeah, I mean it is, but that's enough. I mean,
okay,
that's enough for you to have some sort of opinion on. Look, again, I don't know how we keep just stepping back into this. Why don't we talk something else? You said you're.
I'm more than happy to continue this conversation at a later date when we feel more.
We can. I don't think it needs to be part of the podcast though. This is a bit of a bummer, kind of a drag.
I mean,
You
I
said
registered to vote the other day.
Jessica's... Okay.
I'm just saying, at least it is relevant. There's an upcoming election.
No,
later this year.
I know. You keep bringing in more points to talk about politics. I'm saying let's get away from politics. Well, Jessica said, stop just saying. Jessica, before we started recording, said that she had a character that she wanted to try out. So go ahead.
I didn't.
The floor is yours.
Say that.
Like 10 minutes ago, you said this.
No. What are you talking about?
You said you had a character that you want to try out for the podcast?
Nope.
So you had like 15 minutes of material? No? Nothing? You said you had a voice and everything, and you said you could put on a costume.
I feel like you'd be funnier with an audience because I'm not amused by you.
You don't think that maybe that's... You refusing to even play along for a quarter of a second might be handicapping us?
Sweetheart, I'm not good at that kind of stuff.
Right, okay, so they teach in... I mean, in as much as improv is an art form worth even calling an art form, the principle of improv is that you go yes and. Mm-hmm. Right? It's not about making yourself look... You want to work with your partner, right? So if it seems like I'm doing shtick, you don't go, no, I don't know what that is. Immediately. You gotta... Even if you do something horrible...
I don't want that on record.
What?
Me trying to be funny and doing a very, very, very bad job.
But the listeners want it. The listeners will love you for it.
Trust me, they won't. It's like when your brother tries to get me to drop a beat. Even that is just too challenging for me.
I have a brother, Gregory. He likes to freestyle.
Almost exclusively wall high, but...
No. That is a misconception. He likes to freestyle all the time, and he is frequently high. Thus, it seems like he only wants to freestyle when he's high, because he's always high. But
I see.
No, he likes to freestyle rap. For no apparent reason, I have yet to find any sort of discernible... I don't really know why he does any of the things he does, though, to be fair. Mm-hmm. He's kind of enigmatic.
He's a character.
The inner machinations of my mind are why am I even bothering? You're just staring at me like you want to punch me in the head.
Were you doing SpongeBob?
I was doing Patrick.
Yeah, well, the show was SpongeBob.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get... I think every episode so far, I don't know enough about copyright law, but I'm fairly certain that we've name-dropped a brand or a show.
You quoted a bunch of stuff, too.
Yeah, we're not... None of this is getting on the air. This is getting dumped out of right now.
I don't think that's how that works.
But you don't know. You have no reason to think that.
I feel like
you might be right. This
quote is from SpongeBob.
Maybe.
You're not trying to play this off as your own, and...
I mean, I don't know. I was just gonna move right past it. Anyway, you had a character. Apparently, you're punching out on that.
Yes, and?
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was, at the very least, an improvement.
Thank you.
So you're welcome.
It's like when you try to do the Wonder Twins.
No, that's not.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know why you would bring up all the things you can't do. Mm. You say you don't want to look bad.
Again, to be fair, I'd never heard of the Wonder Twins.
I know. I know. The first time I did it, you being confused made sense. Every subsequent time...
So... To every normal person that doesn't know what it is, basically someone says...
Fuck you.
What is it?
The Wonder Twins are twins. They're superpowered. They have rings. They push them together, and they go Wonder Twin powers.
Each of them make a fist, and then they push the rings together in fists.
Sure.
And we're doing it right now to demonstrate.
Theater of the mind, dear listener. Wonder Twin powers activate, and then one of them says form of, and the other one says shape of, and they transform into those things. So they would both go... Wonder Twin powers activate. I said it like 10 seconds ago, Jessica. And I would say form of a rope, and you would say shape of a
sewer.
Shape of a sewer. So, Jessica, we do this. I don't know why.
To me, form and shape are synonymous, so I don't know why
Yes, they are. That's the point.
And why can I not be a sewer? Why does that...
Because what am I...
a rope can't... Move independently.
Right, so you need to be something that can move.
Like I would.
You need to be like a hawk or something.
So I would be
stop it.
Like a cowboy, and you'd be my lasso.
Exactly. Jessica does this every single time I explain it to her. She acts like it's some revelation. Like just now, I'm making it clear what the point of this is, and every single time we have this same exact conversation. Probably once every 3 months. I've since stopped doing it. I haven't done it for a long time because she's very bad at it. And then she goes, "Oh, I get it. Okay." And then we do it, and she bungles the saying.
Yes.
And then something like that will happen. I'll say form of a rope, and she'll say shape of a sewer, which That's I don't know that a sewer has a shape.
Let's do it again.
That's like saying shape of like a tunnel or something. Like it's not.
Yeah, that's
it's pretty
a shape.
No, tunnels don't have specific. I mean, maybe you're right, but
I guess,
yeah, but the problem
and widths.
Yeah, the problem beyond the vague dimensions is that what am I supposed to do with a sewer? How am I supposed to stop a villain with? Okay, you say that every time.
Let's do it again.
All right. Wonder Twin Powers activate. Form of a matchbook.
Shape of a human being.
No, God damn it.
So I can use it. Like,
you're already a human. Okay, okay. You know what?
I don't get how to fix it.
You're right. Why don't you start it off so that I can then respond to you? Because you seem to not be able to.
No, it's okay. I'm not going to be able. In the future, we should do that. But now I'm not going to be able to get the fire concept out of my head.
So take 15 seconds. We'll wait to think of something.
Okay.
Wonder Twin Powers activate. Gotta say it.
Form of a gun.
Jessica, no.
That's a very practical piece.
You're right.
In fighting crime.
You're right. It is, but it's a little. First of all, the Wonder Twins. I think they're kids or adolescents.
Okay, form of a shield.
It's definitely.
Is that better?
That's better, but the problem is two problems. One. Yeah, the Wonder Twins, I don't know if they're kids, but I think they're young, and this show is certainly geared for children. It's a television show from the maybe 70s. So you can't just be a gun. You can't just say, I'm going to shoot the bad guys dead in the face.
That is what absolutely should happen. That is the most efficient way.
Well, it's a children's show. Problem one. Problem two is that there has to be some level of creativity. You can't just be a gun every single time.
I don't like this game.
I would put it to you that you only don't like it because you're not very good at it.
Okay, that sums up most of my life, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So why don't... Like, I would say, like, a ball python, and you could say, like, a boomerang. Or
those do not go together at all.
I know, but the point is that it's some sort of like creative pairing. That it's like if I said a python and you said a snake handler, what the fuck are we doing? What's the point?
Because then the guy could handle the snake.
Right, I know, but that's
if you're
they come up with creative.
And I'm a python. What are we gonna do together?
I'm gonna use my tail to whip you.
Jesus Christ!
The point is
that's not what snakes do.
The point is that they come up with creative.
Oh, like you would turn.
I'd be a hawk and you'd be a bucket, and I'd use you to put out a fire.
Oh, okay.
Like that's could we turn into a fire hose and truck? Of course we could, but that's not interesting television. Just like this is not interesting radio.
I'm not a writer.
I know, but you don't have to do much. You have to come up with something that's a little off the beaten path.
Maybe I'll get better the more we do it.
Right. So, but that's why I'm saying let's do it again, and you saying no, I don't want to. I'm not good at it. Is
well. Also, here's the thing too. Yeah. What the fuck problem are we solving? If you gave me some backstory and we're like, oh my god, the building's on fire, I could very...
Let's say a young boy fell down a well.
Okay.
Like a Lassie type problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Form of a ladder.
No, see, because then, okay, I need to be able to also transform into something to help.
Yeah.
Like if a ladder...
You're a guy.
No, then I'm not I'm already a guy.
Okay.
If you are saying like, oh, look, there's a cat up in a tree, I'm a boy in a well, I'm going to change into a ladder, there's nothing left for me to do.
Would I be a bucket and you'd be a rope?
In this example, fine. One of us has to be an animate object, though, or an animal or something like that.
I don't like this game.
One of them is usually, if memory serves, one of them usually changes into an animal. And that animal does something with usually an inanimate object. Because, like, if you're a bucket and I'm a rope, then we're just sitting here.
Why does it have to be an animal? Why can't it be a guy?
In theory, it could be a guy, but if it's a guy, then why do I have to bother transforming?
I would love to be a man. Imagine how useful and strong I would be a well situation.
First of all, we are Jessica.
You're pulling out your fucking computer.
I'm looking up the Wonder Twin. I'm trying to look up pairings for the Wonder Twins.
Okay.
I'm pulling on my iPad right now, dear listeners.
He does not have an iPad.
Theater of the Mind Twin. Wonder Twins. So the problem, Jessica often says, you often say that, I don't know who I'm talking to now. You can't be eating while we're doing our podcast. The crackers and now the Twix bar, how is it? Please don't drop candy bars on our floor.
I dropped the wrapper on the floor.
Okay, don't drop any of it on the floor. So...
You're stifling me.
That's... I'm just... Okay, so, listen. Jessica often says, you often say that if you were a man, you'd be like the LeBron James type athlete.
Unstoppable.
But for a woman, Jessica's 4'11". For a woman, you are small.
I'm
For
not.
a woman, you are not particularly fast or athletic.
I am the absolute average height of a woman.
Fine. If you were a man, you'd be like 5'9".
That's true.
And you'd be in... How long can you run for? 3.5 minutes?
I feel like...
Yeah.
Like, any man that I've ever encountered in my entire life, even if that man is shorter than I am, they are stronger than I am. So even if I was a very unfit man, I would still be significantly more useful in a physical battle.
Okay. You have a point. Not a good point, but a point. There's something, though, that I'm reading here about the Wonder Twins that I feel I was making them more interesting, but
oh, God.
I was misleading you a little bit.
Do they not have rings and not
No. They do have rings and they do shapeshift. They are extraterrestrial. I didn't know that. Fraternal twins.
That seems like superpower enough.
Yeah. But their power is that they have the rings and they can shapeshift. Jaina, the girl, I think.
Jana.
Yeah, Jaina can transform her shape into any animal, so she has to turn to an animal. And
see, that would have been significantly more helpful.
And Zan, the guy, can become water in any state. So
Are you fucking kidding me? A rope. Fuck you.
I thought... Well, the example that I always think of is...
An animal in water?
She turns into a hawk, and he turns into a bucket of water. And they put out a fire.
No, they get a bucket. He is just the water.
No. He turns into a bucket of water.
That seems like cheating.
Well, maybe it is, but I don't know.
Robert, I'm just getting progressively more enraged.
And they also have a pet monkey named Gleek, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do apologize.
I'm done with this.
Let me see, bucket of water. Yeah, maybe they do put him in a bucket. Because when they turn him into water, there's a screen grab here. The water has a face.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So I don't...
He definitely is not the bucket. He's
know.
just the water.
A lame bucket of ice water, it says. I don't know. I'll...
They put ice in it to put out the fire?
Well, he can turn into...
It has to be cold water because fire is hot.
He can turn... I don't know. He can turn into a water in any state, so he could just turn to ice if he really wanted to.
Well, ice doesn't put out fire.
Well, it does. It turns into water, and the water extinguishes the fire.
I guess, but wouldn't it be like a half a second faster to just be water in the first place?
Yeah, he turns into water and then jumps into a bucket that Gleek is holding. She turns into not a hawk, an eagle.
I'm upset. And
then the eagle is very big. It carries Gleek, their monkey, and then he jumps into a bucket of water. He jumps into a bucket as water.
I don't need this.
You're right, but my point was just that I apologize. I misled you. I don't know necessarily, though, that you'll... See, this is the problem, is that the game now isn't all that interesting. Because either you're Jaina, and you're just turning into an animal, and whatever you do is just... It can't be wrong.
I'm going to be honest with you, the game was already not interesting.
Well,
we were just saying names of shapes of things.
You're right. But this is not creatively difficult. Because either... I mean, you could be like... How many
states of water are there? 4? 3?
Well, there's that, but you could say like,
gas.
Right, but being ice, you could be like, to go with a previous example, you could be a boa constrictor, anaconda, whatever I said, python, and I could be an ice boomerang. Like the ice still, and you could say water in some, or like a steam.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess steam doesn't really take a shape unless it's a container because it's a fluid.
Yep.
That's problematic. Well, listen, I could be like droplets of water. I don't know. I'm retiring this game because the way it should be played in Spirit with the Wonder Twins is garbage. And the way we were playing it, I'm gonna level with you. You were very bad at.
Thank you. I'm gonna level with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
You gave me...
Turnabout is fair play, sure.
What?
Go ahead.
You gave me so much shit about picking a topic for this fucking podcast.
Yes.
I picked a topic.
Yes.
And you have spent 25 minutes completely avoiding that topic.
Welcome back to Wonder Twin Cast. One podcast for all your Wonder Twin needs. I'm Robert, that's Jess. Say hi, Jess.
Hello.
Talking the twins, talking Gleek today.
Yeah.
All Gleek all the time. Does it count as animal cruelty? Jessica, your thoughts? Having that pet monkey, flying him over fire. Can you say that it's animal cruelty? They're extraterrestrials. Do they have the same standards? Jaina turns into an animal herself.
Would argue, thank you, that anytime that you...
I'll argue right fucking now.
Can you stop?
Yeah, I'm fucking arguing with you.
I would argue
I'm mad.
that any animal being forced to work is animal cruelty.
In any, like a horse, like a draft horse.
Yes.
Pulling a cart.
Yeah, it's not what they want to be doing.
But is that cruel? Just because you don't want to go to work?
Yeah, I think it's cruel to make you go to work.
It's cruel and
I have
unusual.
a lot of opinions about the whole work industry situation.
The work industry?
Yeah, the labor industry. The job. Economy, you could call it.
Market.
No, I mean, I don't know. Life is weird. I'll get existential about it if we go down this path.
I don't think that's smart.
Anyway, I don't know. Like, I see... like working dogs and stuff, and it's like they want to be social and they want to be happy and carefree because that's what dogs do. Like, I don't know. I mean, dogs also, if they're just left to their own devices, get bored and feel like dogs can get depressed as well. So like, I do feel like having a purpose does help a dog, but I also think there's a fine line between like overworking a dog and preventing it from being happy.
I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
In Germany, they have started using holograms for elephants in their circus routines.
Sure, that's fine.
I think that's great.
What if...
They're closing SeaWorld. Did you hear that?
Yeah, no. They're
fucking amazing.
They're no longer breeding animals in SeaWorld.
Yeah, maybe they're not closing SeaWorld. They're just not breeding animals, and then the thing I read came to the conclusion that it must now be closed.
I mean, eventually their animals will die, but I don't know.
I mean... Yeah, I feel like it's amazing. And animals, like, in that situation where, like, they're forced into enclosures that are not stimulating and they're too small and they're forced to work and learn tricks they don't care about, I would argue that's cruelty.
It's not nice. I'll give you that. What if you have two points to contend with. One, or maybe three. One, they're aliens, so who knows what their morality... I mean, they seem to be good in
I'm not taking it this deep. Like, I don't need to argue.
But why not? This is the Wonder Twins pod.
It's not.
WTP.
I don't want to be part of the Wonder Twins pod. I asked you to give me suggestions of podcasts and you refused, so you are not allowed to just come up with random suggestions while the podcast is already being recorded.
I don't see who's going to stop me, but here's the thing. They're aliens, so who knows what their morality is. But what if you could say, well, Jaina turns into animals?
Uh-huh.
So... She doesn't get to...
She gets, like, she just takes the shape of an animal. She doesn't become an animal, and she doesn't understand what it's like to be an animal. She's a human that has now 4 paws.
This is like Socrates.
Also, I don't think you want to play this game with me about animals, because I love them, and I'm very passionate about my animals. Like, I'm not very neutral about this topic.
What if Gleek, their monkey, is verifiably a racist? What if Gleek...
The animals can't be racist.
I think... I don't know about that. What if Gleek... Hypothetically, what if Gleek was a very smart monkey who chose... Like, almost human-level smart...
Oh my God.
Who chose to be a member of the Westboro Baptist Church?
What?
What if Gleek was...
Why would I care what church he belongs to?
Those are the people who, like, picket funerals of gay people and military. What if Gleek
We're just really getting
was a KKK
You
member?
keep saying that you don't want to talk politics, but you keep
this doesn't have to be political. When I said what if he's racist,
you don't want to talk social issues.
Fine, forget about
or controversial topics.
What he punches children in the face. Then is it okay to make him work? He's a dick.
I mean, now you're just talking about, like, the capital punishment system. Like,
no, what?
If he does things that are bad and wrong, we need to force him to work or punish him in some way.
What do you think capital punishment means?
Jail.
No, capital punishment is the death penalty.
Okay, what is jail?
Incarceration.
Okay.
I mean, there are words for...
Pardon, listeners, it appears I have misspoke.
Well, don't condescend them.
I'm not... I'm... Okay.
We'll edit
now
this out
we're just talking about the prison system.
No, I'm not.
In America.
I'm saying I'm not. I'm not trying to make that analog.
The Philadelphia Penitentiary.
Yes.
The Eastern Penitentiary in Philadelphia, New York.
There's an audio, like a tour on tape, narrated by Steve Buscemi for some reason.
Amazing. He did such a good job.
And also
You just found it very random and unexpected.
It was random. We're in Philadelphia taking a tour of this historic prison.
Advertise
Hi, I'm Steve. Also, yeah, no, not at all. They're like, hey, you want to listen to our audio tour? We're like, yeah, sure. And he's like, hi, I'm Steve Buscemi. I was like, what? The fuck's... Also, he pronounces his name Buscemi.
Yeah.
He said, hi, it's Steve Buscemi. I'm like, wait, is this Steve Buscemi?
So both of us we're just standing in the middle of this humongous penitentiary going, what?
Hi, I'm Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi?
We're gonna talk. Yeah, it's
Buscemi?
Steve. First of all, it's Buscemi. Second of all, why is Steve Buscemi narrating this?
Yeah, it was a whole thing. We were very distracted from the tour for a very long time.
It was fun, though.
Anyway, I would highly recommend it.
We go to Philadelphia every year.
We do. Rob has this obsession, I would call it, with the Chinese Lantern Festival.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's
last
gorgeous.
time we stayed in Chinatown, and
they have 40,000 lanterns. Mm-hmm. Their biggest pieces,
handmade, painted, hand painted.
Either a phoenix or a dragon, depending on the year, and it's 200 feet long.
Last year, I think.
No, it's a phoenix. 2 years in a row is a dragon, and then last year was a phoenix, and it's 200 feet long. It's beautiful. We go at night. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. I love it. Yeah, that's true. And
it's in Franklin Square Park.
Then we go to
Franklin Square.
We go to who knows? Then we go to a Malaysian restaurant. And if it's canceled this year because of coronavirus, I'm gonna kill myself. It's very important to me. And yeah.
He said that if we moved and lived in Philadelphia, or you said that if we went to Philadelphia,
right here, it's fine. I've been talking about you in the third person for most of this.
Okay. He said if we go to the, I lost my thought now. This happens more often than I'd like it to.
Well, now it's on record, which is great. So
what was I saying?
If we move to, I don't know what you're saying.
You said that we would literally go, you would go multiple times a week, until your funds ran out.
If you lived in Philadelphia. I would bankrupt myself going to this. Yeah. Because it's $25, but it's well worth it.
And there's not a membership. Like the zoo, we don't pay every single week.
That's true.
We just get a membership. But the Lantern Festival, it's,
Who knows? I don't know. Maybe
cheap.
If you had a Philadelphia City Pass. This is getting... Welcome back to Civil Engineering. CEP, the Civil Engineering Podcast. For
you
all
could
your
apply for a job there, and you could be a security
at
guard.
The Lantern Festival. I suppose that's true. You can also go for free during the day when they're not let up. Guys, listen, go to Philadelphia, check out the Lantern Festival.
I believe it's from May to July.
All of May and all of June. So May.
I think
1st
this
to
year
June 30th.
they delayed it.
I think this year it's not happening.
No, stop! I don't. That would be. Would we even go to Philadelphia?
No.
Okay. Do you want to go somewhere else?
I don't know.
Do you know what we should do? We should just plug all the cool fucking places that we go to. That's what I was saying. We should do a travel podcast.
Yeah.
Because I could talk about the Poconos for months.
Yeah, but here's the thing that you're kind of we're already getting. Why don't we talk about Philly for a few minutes? And I think you'll find that one podcast like this, one episode, is enough to cover the city of Philadelphia. We've only been to 8 places. We're going to run out of episodes. We go to Philadelphia. We go to the Poconos, also in Pennsylvania. Pretty local podcast. Anyone who's west of Ohio is going to
We could do New York City.
Okay, again, anybody west of Ohio is going to... Yep.
We have Egypt.
Sure.
Turkey.
Yep.
And we have 2 cities in Egypt. So that could be 2 separate podcasts.
Okay, so...
We have 2 cities in Greece.
That's 5.
We're going to be going to Sweden, Iceland, and Brussels.
So that's 8.
Within a couple months.
Maybe 9 if you count Denmark.
Philadelphia, Vermont.
That's 11.
The Poconos.
12.
It's a good start. It could also be an incentive for us to start traveling more.
Yeah, I think
maybe this year we skip Philly and
France, Spain.
Mystic.
14.
Okay, France and Spain.
First of all, Mystic is not big. Mystic would be like a mini-sode. Mystic would be first of all. Second of all, you hate Mystic.
That doesn't mean that we can't talk about it.
Okay, touche.
I hate a lot of movies.
You got me there, kid.
I'm just saying we could literally be just making 6 podcasts simultaneously because I cannot choose, and we could just have this is the garbage pod. We could change our names each podcast we do. We could be the garbage podcast with Rob and Jess, and then it could be the movie podcast with Glorb and Bloop, and then
okay, wait a minute. You had me, and then you lost me. First of all, bad idea to begin with. Second of all, why would we change our names?
So that way...
Then we'd be completely untraceable.
Exactly, but...
Not exactly how you're going to build a following. Don't you want this to turn into some movement that you can then use to spark some sort of proletariat revolution or something? What's your goal with this? I guess I still don't know.
If I was going to become an influencer...
Okay.
First of all, if we were doing, like, a travel thing, obviously the goal would be, like, free travel.
Right, but you had that idea 3 minutes ago.
But, exactly, my goal...
With the podcast in general.
I don't have one.
Okay. So then,
I have a lot inside. I feel like our banter's amusing to a lot of friends and family.
It
might just be you, but...
Well, it might be a personal sort of... Like, you have to know us to find it interesting. How's the choice bar?
But I'm willing to test that out. It's good. Stop bringing it up every time I take a bite.
Stop eating during our radio show.
Okay. I would like to test out whether or not it translates past the people we know.
Got it.
And I feel like...
So you're doing this like a social experiment kind of thing.
Also, I feel like
Joseph Mengele type.
I feel like we have a lot of time... Oh, Joseph Mengele.
Don't say Joseph Mengele like that in that voice while we're recording. He was a monster. He was a monster. You're chewing. What are you talking about?
I find the Holocaust... That was Joseph Mengele, right?
Sure.
The Doctor of Death? Who is he?
Yes, I don't know what his nicknames were. I'm clearly not as big a fan as you are.
The Angel of Death?
No. I don't think Angel. He performed experiments on twins mostly and did horrible things.
Mm-hmm. Who was the eugenics guy? Because that's the one that...
All of them. All of the Nazis were the eugenics guys. That's kind of the thing. With the Jews.
If we want to talk about objectionable opinions, we can go into eugenics, but let's not right now. I just think it's extremely interesting, and obviously the Holocaust was
fuck anyone
horrendous.
Who's not the way you are.
The Holocaust is horrendous. I think it was fucking horrible. I used to read, as a kid, I would read so many books about it.
You didn't get to participate?
I was really interested in it.
Why was it horrible? You were born in the wrong generation?
Stop it. Again, we've talked about,
I said Joseph Mengele, and you said his name like he was a teen heartthrob. He's Harry Styles, and you're a 15-year-old girl. Joseph Mengele.
Oh. No, I remember doing, a report on him in school. And
Jessica has a big poster of Goebbels on our ceiling. It's weird. It does help me fall asleep at night. I'll grant you that. But it's kind of odd.
What was he? He was Hitler's general?
He was Hitler's
first-hand.
I think his official title, and it's a rough translation from the German, was blowjob slave. But I don't know German very well, so I don't know. There's not a word for it in English.
The fact that the Holocaust happened in the first place is just so fucking baffling. The fact that people let this happen or supported it and wanted to participate in it, and the fact that it went from just straight up nationalism where it's if you support Germany you'll do this to this insane mass genocide is just fucking fascinating.
Hitler did love Germany.
Okay.
For all of his flaws, you can't take that against the guy. He loved his country.
I mean, look. It's just
there you go.
I
stumped her.
It's just fascinating.
To play the devil's advocate, he was at least a passionate man. Loved dogs.
I'm not
vegetarian.
I'm not saying that it's good. I'm saying that nationalism generally is considered a good trait. So the fact that he manipulated people into taking associating nationalism, which is usually something that people appreciate and support, to something that became so atrocious, it's just fucking fascinating. It's just really interesting that he thought of that and then was able to successfully do that and connect the two.
You're tuning into Talkin' Hitler. All Hitler All the Time podcast. 6:56 p.m., dear listeners.
This entire podcast, we were going to evaluate Cats in this podcast.
Cats the movie, not Cats the animal.
We were going to evaluate Cats the movie, and
I'll give you an eval right now.
You immediately derailed it, brought up all of these shit topics, making us look like assholes. We can't publish this one.
We say that every time. We're gonna be sitting on hours and hours of audio that we can't put anywhere.
This I blame you for, though. Like, I did the job that you asked me to do, and I was ready, willing, and able, and then you came in swinging with, let's talk about unpopular opinions.
Came in swinging?
You did.
Right out
balls
the gate.
To the wall.
Okay, well, listen. My balls are on the wall right now, dear listeners. Jessica is not speaking metaphorically. I'm putting my balls up against the wall. It's theater of the mind.
I'm not contradicting you.
No, I know, but I know you want to. So, you're right. I don't know what I could possibly do to undo...
Stop this, and then start a new one.
All right. See you later, pod racers.